Hi, first graders. I have a story for you today about feelings. This is How Full is Your Bucket for Kids? How are you feeling today? I would love to know about your feelings. We're going to be talking more about that. How Full is Your Bucket for Kids? Written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer. Illustrated by Maury J. Manning. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. That's when you make kind of an ugly look. "Go away. You're too little." Can you make a scowl? Kind of a mean look on your face? "I'm big. Stay back. You'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." And look how Anna's feeling. She's pretty angry. It says Felix. Thwack! Oh, she got mad, and look what she did. She knocked over his tower. And when we make people angry, sometimes they do things that are not nice. "Grandpa!" Grandpa just shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad, but when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. Do you think he's joking? We'll find out. The next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. What? Look at the dog looking at the bucket. When Felix came down for breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." And what is Felix doing? He's trying to get the cereal. Felix slipped, and choco wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mom. "You should have used a stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spill out. Look what's happening to his bucket. Water is spilling out because he's feeling bad inside. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the choco wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. And every time it drips, Felix starts feeling a little worse. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My brother has one just like it." Drip. Drip. Psst, Felix. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. Oh, poor Felix. His bucket is getting emptier and emptier. He's not feeling very happy. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket was almost empty. Every time something bad happens that upsets him, his bucket gets a little emptier. Look at his face. How is he feeling? Is that a happy face? There's Felix there. How does he feel? As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. He feels bad, so he's kind of thinking bad things about other people. It's hard to be nice when your bucket's empty. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper he could hardly bear to look. It said, "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. So now something good happened, and Felix's bucket started to fill up a little more, and water went in. "The Gigantosaurus who wanted a pet, by me, Felix." Drop, plop, drop, drop. Look at that. His bucket is filling back up because good things are happening. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. And when Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. So now something good is happening to Felix, and his bucket is filling back up. Good feelings are a full bucket, and bad feelings are an empty bucket. How is your bucket? Drop. He had a little happy note from his mom in his lunchbox. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. His bucket's getting fuller. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. And look, his bucket's filling up. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. And look, his bucket is almost full because good things are happening and people are being nice to him. And when people are nice, your bucket fills up. And when people are mean, your bucket gets empty. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Yes, you have a bucket. I have a bucket. Everybody has a bucket. We just can't see them. Drop, drop. Let me help you. Drop. Here's your baseball card. Drop. Thanks, dude. So now Felix is doing nice things for other people, and that's filling up his bucket. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. Oh, look. Felix is being nice to this new kid, and they're both getting water in their buckets. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt a drop in his. That's because it feels good to do nice things for other people. Then they feel good, and you feel good. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" So Anna's sad, and he's trying to make her feel better. And so they did. So the thing about feelings is we carry around a bucket, and our feelings are like water in the bucket. And when you feel good and people do nice things for you and are nice to you, your bucket is full. And when people are not nice to you and you feel bad and sad and mad, then your bucket gets very empty. So one of the things Jesus wants us to do is try to fill other people's buckets by being good to them. So you have a paper in your packet for today that looks like this, and it says, "I fill a bucket when I..." So I want you to think really hard about how you can fill someone else's bucket. Do you help somebody? Do you say kind words? Do you play with somebody? What do you do for somebody else that makes them feel good and fill their bucket? So I want you to use your letter sounds to write the words. So I fill a bucket when I help my students. Help was one of our words this week, so I can spell it H-E-L-P, help, H-E-L-P. I fill a bucket when I help my students. I hear a st. Ooh, I don't know how to spell ooh. Students. Students. That's an N and an S at the end. When I help my students. Is that spelled correctly? No. Did I use my sounds to help me write? Yes, I did. And that's what I want first graders to do. When I help my students learn. Learn to, that's one of our words, T-O-2, read, R-E-D, read. And I put a period at the end. I put nice spaces between my words to make them easier to read. And then I would draw a beautiful, colorful picture of me teaching you how to read. Maybe I'll be standing by the board or I'll be holding a book. But don't you write, help my students learn to read, because you don't have students. Only a teacher could write that. So I want to see how you fill other people's buckets. And it will fill my bucket to see the nice things you do too. Have a good day. Bye.